Let's watch something. Let's watch something. Happened. Mm. Surprise! Any suggestion for watching? Okay, let's do the theory test. Because we're going to have exam very soon. So let's try our
channel. Here at Driving Theory Test 2024 UK, we are dedicated to providing you with everything you need to prepare confidently for the test. Today, we will go through 50 essential mock test questions, with the last 10 being absolutely crucial for your success. So, stick around until the end. Those last questions could make all the difference. Let's dive in and get started. Question 1. Why should you never wave people across at pedestrian crossings?
they may not be ready to cross. Let's see.
Answer is A.
Another
Another
vehicle
vehicle may
may
be
be
coming.
coming. I'm wrong.
If people are waiting to use a pedestrian crossing, slow down and be prepared to stop.
Don't wave.
Don't wave them across the road, because another driver may not have seen them,
So
may not have
guys,
seen your
you
signal,
know now, you
and may
cannot
not be
wave
able to stop safely.
the
Question 2. What's the
people.
purpose of road humps, chicanes, and narrowings? Answer is C. To reduce traffic speed. Traffic calming measures help to keep vehicle speeds low in congested areas, where there are pedestrians and children. A pedestrian is much more likely to survive a collision with a vehicle traveling at 20 miles per hour than they are with a vehicle traveling at 40 miles per hour. Question 3. What requires extra care when you're driving or riding in windy conditions? Answer is B. Passing pedal cyclists. Always give cyclists plenty of room when overtaking them. You need to give them even more room when it's windy. A sudden gust could easily blow them off course and into your path. Question 4. How would age affect an older person's driving ability? They'll take longer to react to hazards. As people age, their reaction time gets slower. The rate of decline varies from person to person, but you can expect them to take longer to react to a hazard, and they may be hesitant in some situations. For example, at a junction. Question 5. You're waiting to come out of a side road. Why should you look carefully for motor? Answer is B. Motorcycles can easily be hidden behind obstructions. If you're waiting to emerge from a side road, look carefully for motorcycles. They can be difficult to see. Be especially careful if there are parked vehicles or other obstructions restricting your view. Question 6. What does a red traffic light mean? Answer is C. You must stop and wait behind the stop line. Whatever light is showing, you should know which light is going to appear next and be able to take appropriate action. For example, on its own, you'll know that red will appear next. This should give you ample time to anticipate and respond safely. Question 7. What's the purpose of a catalytic converter? To reduce harmful exhaust gases. Catalytic converters reduce a large percentage of harmful exhaust emissions. They work more efficiently when the engine has reached its normal working temperature. Question 8. What color are the reflective studs along the left-hand edge of the motorway? Answer is C, red. Reflective studs are used to help you in poor visibility. Different colors are used so that you'll know which lane you're in. These are red on the left-hand edge of the carriageway, white between lanes, amber on the right-hand edge of the carriageway, green between the carriageway and slip roads. Question 9. What must you do when you're overtaking a car at night?
I have to tell you about this. It was the first fragrance I ever developed. It's the real luxury fragrance, and it's got in it some lavender, some jasmine, and some sandalwood. And I developed this for my own anxiety. It took me about 2 years to get the fragrance right. This
Let's skip.
really
What must you do when you're overtaking a car at night? Answer is B. Make sure you don't dazzle other road users. To prevent your headlights from dazzling the driver of the car in front, wait until you've passed them before switching to main beam. Question 10. You've just gone through floodwater. What should you do to make sure your brakes are working properly? Answer is C. Go slowly while gently applying the brakes. Water on the brakes will act as a lubricant, causing them to work less efficiently. Using the brakes lightly as you go along will quickly dry them out. Question 11. When should you flash your headlights at other road users? Answer is A. When letting them know that you're there. You should only flash your headlights to warn others of your presence. Don't use them to greet others, show impatience, or give priority to other road users, because they could misunderstand your signal. Question 12. You're following a slower moving vehicle. What should you do if there's a junction just ahead on the right? Answer is B. Only consider overtaking when you're past the junction. You should never overtake as you approach a junction. If a vehicle emerged from the junction while you were overtaking, a dangerous situation could develop very quickly. Question 13. You're parked on the road at night. When must you use parking lights? Answer is A. When the speed limit exceeds 30 miles per hour. When parking at night, park in the direction of the traffic. This will enable other road users to see the reflectors on the rear of your vehicle. Use your parking lights if the speed limit is over 30 miles per hour.
The ultimate main technical partner.
30 miles per hour. Question 14. What should you do when you're approaching roadworks on a motorway? Answer is B. Obey the speed limit. Be aware of reduced speed limits at roadworks. Speed limits shown inside a red circle are mandatory, and cameras are often used to enforce the reduced limit. Slow down in good time and keep your distance from the vehicle in front. Question 15. What should you do if the left-hand pavement is closed due to street repairs? Answer is D. Watch out for pedestrians walking in the road. Where street repairs have closed off pavements, proceed carefully and slowly, as pedestrians might have to walk in the road. Question 16. What should you do immediately after joining a motorway? Answer is C. Stay in the left-hand lane. When you've just joined a motorway, stay in the left-hand lane long enough to get used to the higher speeds of motorway traffic before considering overtaking. Question 17. What should you do if you see a large box fall from a lorry onto the motorway? Answer is B. Go to the next emergency telephone and report the hazard. Lorry drivers can be unaware of objects falling from their vehicles. If you see something fall onto a motorway, look to see if the driver pulls over. If they don't stop, don't attempt to retrieve the object yourself. Pull onto the hard shoulder near an emergency telephone and report the hazard. Question 18. You're about to overtake a cyclist. Why should you leave them as much room as you would give to a car? Answer is A. The cyclist might be unsettled if you pass too near them. Before overtaking, assess the situation. Look well ahead to see whether the cyclist will need to change direction. Be especially aware of a cyclist approaching parked vehicles, as they'll need to alter course. Don't pass too closely or cut in sharply, as this could unsettle the rider. Question 19. You're the first person to arrive at an incident where people are badly injured. You've switched on your hazard warning lights and checked all engines are stopped. What else should you do? Answer is A. Make sure that an ambulance has been called. If you're the first to arrive at a crash scene, the first concerns are the risk of further collisions and fire. Ensuring that vehicle engines are switched off will reduce the risk of fire. Use hazard warning lights so that other traffic knows there's a need for caution. Make sure the emergency services are contacted. Don't assume it's already been done. Question 20. Which document may the police ask you to produce after you've been involved in a collision?
Hi there. Did you know you can perfectly legally, through a government scheme, earn £1 million a year completely tax-free by using commercial property? That got your attention, didn't it? My name's Paul Smith, founder of Touchdown.
Ask you to produce after you've been involved in a collision. Answer is A, your driving license. You must stop if you've been involved in a collision that results in injury or damage. The police may ask to see your driving license and insurance details at the time, or later at a police station. Question 21. You've just passed your driving test. How can you reduce your risk of being involved in a collision? Answer is D, by taking further training. New drivers and riders are often involved in a collision or incident early in their driving career. Due to a lack of experience, they may not react to hazards appropriately. Approved training courses are offered by driver and rider extra training. Question 22. Why should you switch your headlights on when it first starts to get dark? Answer is B, so others can see you more easily. Your headlights and taillights help others on the road to see you. It may be necessary to turn on your headlights during the day if visibility is reduced, for example, due to heavy rain. In these conditions, the light might fade before the street lights are timed to switch on. Be seen to be safe. Question 23. You're waiting in a traffic queue at night. How can you avoid dazzling drivers behind you? Answer is D. Use the parking brake and release the foot brake. In queuing traffic, your brake lights can dazzle drivers behind you. If you apply your parking brake, you can take your foot off the foot brake. This will turn off the brake lights so that they can't dazzle the driver behind you. Question 24. You're driving in traffic at the speed limit for the road. What should you do if the driver behind is trying to overtake? Answer is B. Keep a steady course and allow the driver behind to overtake. Keep a steady course to give the driver behind an opportunity to overtake safely. If necessary, slow down. Reacting incorrectly to another driver's impatience can lead to danger. Question 25. How will a roof rack affect your car? Answer is A. Fuel consumption will increase. A roof rack increases your car's wind resistance. This will cause an increase in fuel consumption, so you should remove it when it isn't being used. An aerodynamically designed roof rack or box will help reduce wind resistance to a minimum, but the rack or box should still be removed when it isn't in use. Hey, if you find this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Your support helps us bring you more content to ace your theory test. Now, let's get back to the video. Question 26. You're about to go down a steep hill. What should you do to control the speed of your vehicle? Answer is D. Select a low gear and use the brakes carefully. When driving down a steep hill, gravity will cause your vehicle to speed up. This will make it more difficult for you to stop. To help keep your vehicle's speed under control, select a lower gear to give you more engine braking, and make careful use of the brakes. Question 27. What should you do if you're driving on a motorway and you miss the exit that you wanted to take? Answer is C. Carry on to the next exit. It's illegal to reverse, cross the central reservation, or drive against the traffic flow on a motorway. If you miss your exit, carry on until you reach the next one. Ask yourself why you missed your exit. If you think that your concentration is fading, take a break before continuing your journey. Question 28. When may you drive without wearing your seatbelt? Answer is A. When you're carrying out a maneuver that includes reversing. You may remove your seatbelt while you're carrying out a maneuver that includes reversing. However, you must remember to put it back on again before you resume driving. Question 29. You're carrying two 13-year-old children and their parents in your car. Who's responsible for seeing that the children wear seatbelts? Answer is D. You, the driver. Seatbelts save lives and reduce the risk of injury. If you're carrying passengers under 14 years old, it's your responsibility as the driver to ensure that their seatbelts are fastened or they're seated in an approved child restraint. Question 30. Why is it particularly important to check your vehicle before making a long motorway journey? answer is A. Continuous high speeds increase the risk of your vehicle breaking down. Before you start your journey, make sure that your vehicle can cope with the demands of high-speed driving. You should check a number of things, the main ones being fuel, oil, water, and tires. You also need to plan rest stops if you're making a long journey.
Unwrap savings this Christmas with M&M. M&M. Big brands, low prices, direct to you.
The LG OLED has self-lit tech, which gives perfect contrast, color accuracy, and detail. We'll take it. Great.
Claim a guaranteed cash reward from £50 to £100,000 when you buy any LG OLED TV. Curry's beyond expectations.
Question 31. Who's responsible for making sure that a vehicle isn't overloaded? Answer is A. The driver of the vehicle. Carrying heavy loads will affect control and the vehicle's handling characteristics. If the vehicle you're driving is overloaded, you'll be held responsible. Question 32. When could the cost of your insurance be reduced? Answer is A. When you complete the Pass Plus scheme. The cost of insurance varies with your age and how long you've been driving. Usually, the younger you are, the more expensive it is, especially if you're under 25. Pass Plus provides additional training to newly qualified drivers. The scheme is recognized by many insurance companies, and taking this extra training could give you reduced insurance premiums, as well as improving your skills and experience. Question 33. What does the term blind spot mean?
Gusto ko din na mag-drive na mag-isa ba? Magmuni-muni. Hindi na lagi
Answer
ako
is
meron
D.
kasama.
An area not visible to the driver. Modern vehicles provide the driver with a good view of both the road ahead and behind using well-positioned mirrors. However, the mirrors can't see every angle of the scene behind and to the sides of the vehicle.
How are you?
It's essential that you know when and how to check the vehicle's blind spots so that you're aware of any hidden hazards. Question 34. When should you leave a 2-second gap between your vehicle and the one in front?
Kaloka kasi si ano na, kumusta na?
Answer is A. When it's dry.
Nakapangasawa lang ikaw.
In good dry conditions, a driver needs to keep a distance of at least 2 seconds from the car in front. This should allow enough space for you to stop if the driver in front
Ito
has to
magdadrive
stop
na ako.
suddenly. Question
Kaibigang
35.
Oye.
How can you use your vehicle's engine as a brake?
Maaga akong umuwi kasi accident at work.
Answer is B. By changing to a lower gear. When driving on downhill stretches of road, selecting a lower gear gives increased engine braking.
Kumusta na ang farm mo, Oye?
This will prevent excessive use of the
Mr.
brakes,
Oye.
which become less effective if they overheat.
Coming to my live.
Question 36. In order to supervise a learner driver, you need to have held a full driving license for the same category of vehicle
Nagluluto ako
for at
ngayon
least
ng
3 years.
ginataan.
What other
Turkey
requirement must you meet?
Mackerel. Ginataang mackerel at saka mamoy. Diba? Pinagsama natin yun
Answer is B.
para
To be at
masarap.
least 21 years old.
Isisimmer lang natin siya.
Learner drivers benefit by combining professional driving lessons with private practice. However, you need to be at least 21 years old and have held your driving license for at least 3 years before you can supervise a learner driver.
Kamyas.
Question 37.
Alam mo yun.
What's the legal minimum insurance cover you must have to drive on public roads?
Okay, kung ka talaga.
Answer is C.
Miss
Third-party
Oyi
only.
na ako. Di na ako si
The
Mr.
minimum insurance
Ay,
required
ganon?
by law is
Ay, naku,
third-party
talagang hindi na
cover.
ako latest ngayon,
This covers your liability to others involved in a collision but not damage to your
Anak,
vehicle.
marites na.
Basic
Miss
third-party
Oyi.
insurance
Ako
also
po.
won't cover theft or fire damage. Insurance
Kayo,
company for
kakaiba ka.
advice on the best cover for you, and make sure that you read the policy carefully.
Christmas na.
Make sure that you read the policy carefully. 38. What should you do if your vehicle catches fire while you're driving through a tunnel?
Next time, pupunta ko sa panel mo. Pagkakanta ka. Busy din kasi ako.
Answer is A.
Girl.
Drive it out of the tunnel if it's safe to do so.
Busy ang lola mo, girl.
If it's possible, and you can do so without causing further danger, it may be safer to drive a vehicle that's on fire out of a tunnel. The greatest danger in a tunnel fire is smoke and suffocation. Question 39. What style of driving causes increased risk to everyone?
Sana all.
Answer is A.
Invited ba ako
Competitive.
dyan, Oyi?
Competitive
Dapat flower
driving
girl ako eh.
increases the risks to everyone and is the opposite of responsible, considerate, and defensive driving. Defensive driving is about questioning the actions of other road users and being prepared for the unexpected. Don't be taken by surprise. Question
Oyi,
40.
dapat flower girl ako.
You're waiting to emerge at a junction. Your view is restricted by parked vehicles. What can help you to see
Taga
traffic
Mindanao?
on the road you're joining?
Shocking, men. Ang layo naman. Akala ko taga Mindoro din. Ipabala ka sa kanyang doon sa Mindanao. Okay, kung ka.
Answer is D. Reflections of traffic in windows. You must be completely sure it's safe to emerge. Try to look for traffic through the windows of the parked cars or in the reflections in windows. Keep looking in all directions as you slowly edge
Tawa ka
forward
dyan. Totoo
until you
naman.
can see it's
Mamaya,
safe.
ibala ka sa
Question
kanyo,
41.
papuntang Russia.
You want to put a rear-facing baby seat
Ikaw,
on the
ah?
front passenger
Kung
seat.
sino-sino na lang ang
What must you
nakasawa
do
mo
if the
dyan?
passenger seat is protected by a frontal airbag?
Mahal na mahal kita, kaibigan. Huwag kang ha? Huwag kang pumunta ng Mindanao.
Answer is B. Deactivate the airbag.
Babala ka sa kanyang doon.
It's
Wala
illegal
na
to
akong
fit a
kaibigan,
rear-facing
Oyi.
baby seat into a passenger seat protected by an active frontal airbag. If the airbag activates, it could cause serious injury or even death to the child. You must secure it in a different seat or deactivate the relevant airbag. Follow the manufacturer's advice when fitting a baby seat. Question 42. Which sign means that there may be people walking along the road?
It was
absolutely amazingly divine.
One of the most extraordinary evenings of my life. I really mean that. Joyful.
Like amazing. Usually I'm not speechless. I am speechless today.
It was absolutely riveting. Beautiful. It's very nice to see a show that concentrates on the highest and the best.
Which sign means that there may be people on the road?
Ginataang isda ang ulam.
Answer is D. Always check the road signs. Triangular signs are warning signs. They inform you about hazards ahead and help you to anticipate any problems. There are a number of different signs showing pedestrians. Learn the meaning of each one. Question 43. What does this sign mean?
Dumi-dumi naman ito.
Trams. Take extra care when you encounter trams. Look out for road markings and signs that alert you to them. Modern trams are very quiet and you may not hear them approaching. Question 44. What does this sign mean?
Saan? December nandun ka na sa Mindanao? Shocking, man. Ibabala ka doon. Sige ka. Hindi na
Answer
totoo.
is C. Risk of ice.
So happy for
It will
you,
take
my
up to
friend.
10 times longer to stop when it's icy.
Sana all.
Where there's a risk of icy conditions, you need to be aware of this and take extra care. If you think the road may be icy, don't brake or steer harshly,
Oy, baka
as your
naman
tires could lose their
charot-charot mo
grip
lang
on
yan,
the
ah.
road.
Pero in
Question
fairness, ah,
45.
kaibigan,
What does
ah.
this sign mean?
Congratulations, Iam. You deserve it, darling.
Answer is B. Give way to trams. Obey the give way signs. Trams are unable to steer around you if you misjudge when it's safe to enter the junction. Question 46. What does this sign mean?
Oli, buti ka pa, hindi ka nakakalimot.
Answer is A. Quayside or riverbank.
Thank you, thank you.
You should be careful in these locations, as the road surface is likely to be wet and slippery. There may be a steep drop to the water, and there may not be a barrier along the edge of the road.
Ang sarap,
Question
sarap ng
47.
aking.
Which sign shows that you're entering a one-way system?
Lalagyan ko siya ng kangkong. Lagyan ko siya ng ceiling green. Maanghang kaya ito?
Answer is B. If the road has 2 lanes, you can use either lane and overtake on either side.
Lagay ko na para mabango.
Use the lane that's more convenient for your destination, unless signs or road markings indicate otherwise. Question 48. What does this sign mean? Answer is D. With flow
Nagtayo
bus
ako
and
ng
cycle
dab
lane.
ng negosyo, si ikaw lang naman ang
It's a
nakalugod
big
ka.
win
Hindi
whenever
ah.
we can keep plastic out of the ocean. It's even better when that old
Oo
material
nga,
is
si ano,
used to create new.
si Mika,
With
di na din
flowbus
siya
and
nag-ano,
cycle lane.
nagpaparamdam sa akin.
Buses and cycles can travel in this lane.
Ano yung dab?
In this example,
DUB.
they'll flow in the same direction as
Ano
other
yung tinayo mong
traffic.
ganun?
If it's busy, they may be passing you on the
Negosyante ka na
left.
pala ngayon,
So
ah,
watch
Oyi,
out
ah.
for
Ikaw na ang mayaman, ah.
Times on the sign will show the lane's hours
Share
of
your
operation.
blessings, ah.
If no times are shown, or there's no sign at all, this means the lane is in operation 24 hours a day. In some areas, other vehicles, such as taxis and motorcycles, are allowed to use bus lanes. The sign will show if this is the case. Question 49. What does the solid white line at the side of the road indicate?
Hindi siya maamoy. Wala.
edge of the carriageway.
Lock yung
The
aking
continuous
minuto.
white line shows the edge of the carriageway. It can be especially useful when visibility is restricted,
Oh, yung
such as
maalat
at
yung
night
luto
or
ko.
in bad weather.
Kakadaldal ko kasi sa'yo.
It's discontinued in some places. For example, at junctions, lay-bys, entrances, or other
Si
openings.
Ninang ko yun.
Question 50.
Thank
What does
you
the
naman.
solid white line at the side of the road indicate?
Ano sabi niya? Busy-busy ako. Totoo namang busy-busy ako. Wala na nga akong time mag-supply ni.
Answer is A. You should be aware of all the warning lights
Oh, yung
and
mag-friend
visual
pa tayo
aids
sa
on the
Facebook
vehicle
para
you're
hindi
driving. If you're driving a vehicle for the first time, you should familiarize yourself with all the controls, warning lights, and visual aids before you set off. For more practice, click on this video to watch part 2 of our car mock test series. Keep building your confidence and get closer to passing your theory test. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next
Tawa-tawa ka pa
video.
dyan.
We are dedicated to providing you with everything you need to prepare confidently for your test. Today, we will go through 50
Kung hindi nga lang
essential
ako
mock test
tinawagan ni
questions,
Ate Ann,
with the last 10
nag-message
being
si Ate Ann
absolutely
na
crucial for your
mag-screen record
success.
ka,
So, stick around until
Tapos
the
yun,
end.
yan,
Those last
mag-screen record
questions
naman
could
ako.
make all the difference. Let's dive in and get started. Question 1. Which vehicle will use a blue flashing beacon? Answer is A. Bomb disposal. Emergency vehicles use blue flashing lights. If you see or hear one, move out of its way as soon as it's safe and legal to do so. Question 2. Why must you take great care when emerging from this junction? Answer is D. The view is restricted. You may have to pull forward slowly until you can see up and down the road. Be aware that the traffic approaching the junction can't see you either. If you don't know that it's clear, don't go. Question 3. You're approaching a roundabout. What should you do if a cyclist ahead is signaling to turn right? Answer is B. Give the cyclist plenty of room. If you're following a cyclist who's signaling to turn right at a roundabout, leave plenty of room. Give them space and time to get into the correct lane. Question 4. You're following a long vehicle approaching a crossroads. What should you do if the driver signals right but moves close to the left-hand curb? Answer is C. Wait behind the long vehicle. When a long vehicle is going to turn right, it may need to keep close to the left-hand curb. This is to prevent the rear end of the trailer cutting the corner. You need to be aware of how long vehicles behave in such situations. Don't overtake the lorry, because it could turn as you're alongside. Stay behind and wait for it to turn. Question 5. You're joining a motorway from a slip road. How should you deal with traffic already on the motorway? Answer is B. Match your speed to traffic in the left-hand lane and filter into a safe gap. You should give way to traffic already on the motorway. Where possible, traffic may move over to let you in, but don't force your way into the traffic stream. Traffic could be traveling at high speed, so try to match your speed to filter in without affecting the traffic flow.
to tell you about this. It was the first fragrance I ever developed. It's the real luxury fragrance, and it's got in it some lavender, some jasmine, and some sandalwood. And I developed this for my own anxiety. It took me about 2 years to get the fragrance right. It's a really complex blend. In fact, internally we call it our kind of cashmere blanket. And I called it real luxury because for me, when I started Iam 19 years ago, the idea of creating calm and a fragrance that I could breathe in and really help me with those anxious moments was absolutely my version of real luxury, and it still is today. This is the fragrance I would go to if I wanted to create that moment of calm, if I wanted to de-stress, if I wanted to just snuggle up at home. I generally would burn this, use anything in this range at the end of the day, but it could be used all day long. But it really is, I think, something that is indulgent. Created a fragrance this sophisticated out of just naturals I'm always really, really proud of, and always takes me back to those early days when Iam was created very much for my own anxiety, and it still helps me to this day. So I'd love to hear what you think of it.
Don't use bullet points in a presentation. Look, if you are responsible for driving new sales into a business you own or that you work for, you're probably doing that through a presentation, but do not include bullet points in that presentation, because if you do, you'll kill people with death by PowerPoint. Steve Jobs never used bullet points in his presentation, and neither should you. So what do you do instead? You need to put together what's called a solution framework. Take a look. This is Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Probably heard of that or heard of him. And this is Stephen's 7 habits. But it's formulated into a model, a framework, a blueprint, a map, a recipe of some kind. If this was just bullet points, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We'd have forgotten it. And here's why. Because human beings need containers in which to hold data in. That's how it works. You've got to chunk it into these data stamps exactly like this. And when you do, it gives you more authority, because bullet points anybody can do. That is unique. That is a unique branded solution. That can become your own intellectual property that nobody can copy. Does that make sense? Let's have a look at another example. This is Maslow, hierarchy of needs. Has it stood the test of time? Since the Second World War. Why though? Well, it's not just because the content's great, and it is. It's because it's in a structure. It's a pyramid. It's a structure that we recognise. When I say Maslow, you probably think ascending triangle. That's what most people would think who understand it. So that's the point. You've got to create something that stands the test of time. Now, this forms the central part of a presentation. If you're selling an idea to someone, if you're selling a service to somebody, what you need to do is create a presentation where your framework is at the heart of that presentation and allows freedom of expression around it to validate that model and to tell stories. This is part of a presentation that could win you great new business. It's called Presentation Profits. If you'd like to attend a very special event, I will train and teach you exactly how to put this type of presentation together. I've been doing it now for over 19 years. It's taken me from wannabe to headline performer at some of the biggest arenas in the world, alongside other greats such as Richard Branson, current presidents of the United States, and Tony Robbins. And what I was able to do is put a presentation together that ultimately I could train others how to do too. So I'd like to train you how to put yours together to drive new sales by putting teaching and education at the heart of what you do, but also how you transform people's thinking leads to sales. Now, this presentation profits is virtual. You do not have to leave the comfort of your own home to attend it, and it's also free of any charge. That's right, there's no charge here whatsoever to attend. In a few minutes you can click a link right below. You can do it now if you like. A button or a link will take you to a page where you can see the date of our next upcoming event. By the way, the reason it's completely free is because, look, at some point, once you've learned what to do, you may still want to hire me or my team in the future to help you to put this type of presentation together. We'd love to help if you want to. But there's nothing to buy here. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do anything. You can just come along, learn, and then apply everything that we teach you with no further help. So, presentation profits. Click the button right below, tap a link below, and ultimately get through to the page and find out what the next day is. And I'd love to help you to form $1 million message and help you to create a presentation that brings in profits. Go and do it right now, and I'll see you then. Take care.
Match your speed to filter in without affecting the traffic flow. Hey, if you find this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Your support helps us bring you more content to ace your theory test. Now, let's get back to the video. Question 6. Which vehicle is most likely to take an unusual course at a roundabout? Answer is C. Long vehicle. Long vehicles might have to take a slightly different position when approaching the roundabout or going around it. This is to stop the rear of the vehicle cutting in and mounting the curb. Question 7. Which type of crossing allows cyclists to ride across while pedestrians are also crossing? Answer is C. Toucan. A toucan crossing is designed to allow pedestrians and cyclists to cross at the same time. Look out for cyclists approaching the crossing at speed. Question 8. What's a cover note? Answer is C. A document issued before you receive your insurance certificate. Sometimes an insurance company will issue a temporary insurance certificate called a cover note. It gives you the same insurance cover as your certificate, but lasts for a limited period, usually 1 month. Question 9. You're turning right at a crossroads. An oncoming driver is also turning right. What's the advantage of turning behind the oncoming vehicle? Answer is B. You'll have a clearer view of any approaching traffic. When turning right at a crossroads where oncoming traffic is also turning right, it's generally safer to turn behind the approaching vehicle. This allows you a clear view of approaching traffic and is called turning offside to offside. However, some junctions, usually controlled by traffic light filters, are marked for vehicles to turn near side to near side. Question 10. What should the driver of the red car, arrowed, do? Answer is C. Wait for the pedestrian in the road to cross. Some people might take a long time to cross the road. They may be older or have a disability. Be patient and don't hurry them by showing them patience. If pedestrians are standing at the side of the road, don't signal or wave them to cross. Other road users might not have seen your signal, and this could lead the pedestrians into a hazardous situation. Question 11. What's the purpose of the yellow lines painted across the road?
Okay, sis.
Answer is B. To make you aware of your speed. These lines may be painted on the road on the approach to a roundabout, a village, or a particular hazard. The lines are raised and painted yellow, and their purpose is to make you aware of your speed. Reduce your speed in good time so that you avoid having to brake harshly over the last few meters before reaching the junction.
Need an affordable everyday kitchen knife? I found one for you. It's the Japanese chef's knife that's winning thousands of reviews.
Over the last few meters before reaching the junction. Question 12. What's the main hazard the driver of the red car, arrowed, should be aware of? Answer is D. The bus may move out into the road. If you can do so safely, give way to buses signaling to move off at bus stops. Try to anticipate the actions of other road users around you. The driver of the red car should be prepared for the bus pulling out. As you approach a bus stop, look to see how many passengers are waiting to board. If the last one has just got on, the bus is likely to move off. Question 13. You're in a built-up area at night and the road is well lit. Why should you use dipped headlights? Answer is A, so that you can be easily seen by others. You may be difficult to see when you're traveling at night, even on a well-lit road. If you use dipped headlights rather than side lights, other road users should be able to see you more easily. Question 14. Why should you reduce your speed when you're driving or riding in fog? Answer is A. It's more difficult to see what's ahead. You won't be able to see as far ahead in fog as you can on a clear day. You'll need to reduce your speed so that, if a hazard looms out of the fog, you have the time and space to take avoiding action. Traveling in fog is hazardous. If you can, try to delay your journey until it is cleared. Question 15. Why should you use your mirrors when you see a hazard ahead? Answer is C. To assess how your actions will affect the traffic behind. You should be constantly scanning the road for clues about what's going to happen next. Check your mirrors regularly, particularly as soon as you spot a hazard. What's happening behind may affect how you respond to hazards ahead. Question 16. What helps to reduce traffic bunching on a motorway? Answer is D. Variable speed limits. Congestion can be reduced by keeping traffic at a
Ate Ami,
constant
kakasal na
speed.
daw yan si
At
ano,
busy
Oyi.
times, maximum speed limits are displayed on
Mindanao
overhead
daw.
gantries. These can be varied quickly depending on the amount of traffic. By keeping to a constant speed on busy sections of motorway, overall journey times are normally improved. Question 17. At night, what does it mean if you see a pedestrian wearing reflective clothing and carrying a bright red light? Answer is C. You're approaching an organized walk. The people on the walk should be keeping to the left, but don't assume this. Pass carefully, making sure you have time to do so safely. Be aware that the pedestrians have their backs to you and may not know that you're there.
The best Christmas roast potatoes. To a baking tray, add goose fat, rosemary, garlic, thyme. Put in the oven at 190. Potatoes to this size. Season and add the vegetable stock cube. Parboil for 10 minutes. Stuff them up in a colander to the size of up and add some plain flour. Drop them into the sizzling oil, cover, put in the oven. Every 15 minutes, take them out and coat them in the oil until they are golden brown like this. outside of subjects like delicious.
If I gave you 3 cash flow properties right now, do you think you'd be immune against the upcoming recession? Listen, if you've got cash and or equity and you're looking to start or scale a property business, stop listening to the bullshit advice advertised online. Because let's say you want to start making 10k a month in passive income in the next 2 years, most of what you'll find flowing to you online property gurus is completely misleading. They'll tell you that you can invest with no money down. However, what they're hiding from is the fact that it's not a long-term sustainable strategy because you never own the property, which is not why you're building a property business. Because if you're anything like me, back when I was working in corporate, I was trading my time for hard-earned money. I was feeling completely unfulfilled. It even got to the point where hitting the snooze button became a habit. But I couldn't quit my job since I had no secondary income to support my family with. All I wanted to do was work on something that gave me fulfillment and make 6 figures a year in passive income at the same time. Something that will give me the full time to spend with my family, to travel, to never miss the precious times of my kids growing up.
And may not know that you're there. Question 18.
Okay, good
You're
night.
invited to a pub lunch.
Sleep ka na,
What should you
Oy
do
boy.
if you know that you'll have to drive in the evening?
Salamat. Maraming salamat, girl.
Answer is B. Don't drink any alcohol at all. Alcohol will stay in your body for several hours and may make you unfit to drive later in the day. Drinking during the day will also affect your performance at work or study. Question 19. You're driving in a slow-moving queue of traffic. What should you do just before changing lane? Answer is C. Look for motorcyclists filtering through the traffic. In queuing traffic, motorcyclists could be passing you on either side. Use your mirrors and check your blind area before changing lanes or changing direction. Question 20. What should you do if your vehicle has a puncture on a motorway?
Asan te? Yung sinasabi mo? Screencast viral.
Answer is B. Pull up on the hard shoulder or in an emergency refuge area and call for assistance. Pull up on the hard shoulder or in an emergency refuge area and call for assistance. Don't attempt to repair your vehicle while it's on the hard shoulder because of the risk posed by traffic passing at high speeds. Question 20. When would you increase the pressure in your tires so that it's above the normal value? Answer is A. When carrying a heavy load. Check the vehicle handbook. This should give you guidance on the correct tire pressures for your vehicle and when you may need to adjust them. If you're carrying a heavy load, you may need to adjust the headlights as well. Most cars have a switch on the dashboard to do this.
Okay.
Question 22.
Ganun pala.
What will
Okay.
happen if your
Ciao.
car's wheels
Baka
are
pagalitan ako ni
unbalanced?
Lolo dito. Mag-end lang na tayo.
Answer is
Bye.
C.